Heal your body and not your symptoms. Be a survivor, not the victim. Treat your body right.
Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. I'm living my life that is best, y'all. No stress, good health, I'm blessed.
Love, peace, and blessings, everyone. This is Sakina with Natural Max Health, and after being away for a while, it is so good to be back. I do apologize, but as we all know, life happens. So, during our last discussion, for the last few videos, rather, I should say, we have been discussing how to heal your body and not your symptoms. We have been talking about getting to the root cause of the problem. And there were 4 proven methods that I provided that work for reversing diseases, illnesses, and symptoms based on my studies as well as based on my personal journey. So this time, instead of recapping on what those 4 methods are, I will post them in the description box. This way, those of you that follow me don't have to hear it continuously. And for those of you who may be watching me for the first time, you can still get it in the description box. So, the last video, I was actually in Antigua celebrating my 50th birthday. Yay, me! And I'm back home now. While at Antigua, I did a video on the beach, and I was explaining how grounding or connecting to the earth helps to reduce inflammation in the body. So today I am going to continue our discussion on inflammation. I think this will probably make video number 4 on inflammation. So today we are actually going to discuss foods that causes inflammation and foods that assist the body in reducing and preventing inflammation. Because as we all know, a lot of the things that goes on inside of our bodies are due to the foods that we eat. So what I am doing is promoting an inflammatory diet or an anti-inflammatory diet, meaning we want to put the foods into our bodies that helps to prevent inflammation, and that can be by any means, whether it's antioxidants, fights free radicals, just whichever way that it helps to fight inflammation. And we also want to avoid putting foods in our bodies that causes inflammation or causes harm to it. Now, for this anti-inflammatory diet, this is not something that we just want to do if we're on a healing journey or if we are sick. This is something that we do to be proactive, whether we're on a healing journey or not. This is definitely a lifestyle change. If you are wondering what type of diet you should be on, how you should eat, an anti-inflammatory diet is the way to go. So, without further ado, let's first cover the foods that causes inflammation in the body. Now, as many of you already know, processed foods, sugars, all these foods causes inflammation in the body. And most people know that by now. Corn, high fructose corn syrup, things like that. So I have my notes here because I did not want to leave anything out. I want to make sure that you all get all of the information. So as I mentioned, sugar causes inflammation in the body. But when sugar is combined with animal products, it's even more magnified because it's even more inflammation. Gluten or wheat causes inflammation, and you have to be careful because gluten and wheat are in so many different foods. And sometimes it's, you read the labels and it's like, why do you have gluten in here? And before I continue, I just want to bring up one point. There's a doctor that I follow. I will not even attempt to pronounce his name, but he's a very respected doctor. And when he talks about processed foods, he talks about how much they've been chemically altered, how much preservatives are put into them, and it gets to the point where it's no longer even a food, it's a product. So a lot of these things that we're calling processed foods are not foods at all. They are products. So we want to watch these things, your potato chips, your cookies, your candies. I know no one has a perfect diet all the time, but our goal should be to reduce drastically the amount of foods that we put in our body that causes inflammation and put in the good foods. Baby steps, it won't happen overnight, but it's a goal, something to work towards. So let's continue with our list. Dairy products, your cheese, your milks, your yogurts, all of these causes inflammation in the body, especially when the animals that the dairy products come from were fed with antibiotics, hormones, and things like that. Beef. Beef causes inflammation in the body unless it's grass-fed. Now here's why. Cattle eat grass, but now here, especially here in America, they are being fed grain. Now when I talk to my clients, I tell them to always look at it this way. Let's say you have a car and your car takes gas, but you accidentally put diesel in it. What's going to happen to your car? Your car is going to get sick. It's going to malfunction. So if you take the cattle and you give them grain instead of grass, they are going to get sick and they are going to malfunction. And when you put that food and when you eat that cattle, rather, that sick meat, you in turn are going to get sick as well. Okay, moving right along with our list. Artificial sweeteners like aspartame causes inflammation in the body. According to some research, chicken and poultry causes inflammation in the body. Your oils, sunbeam oil, canola oil, corn oil, vegetable oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, all of these oils causes inflammation in the body because of how they are processed. One of the main things to keep in mind when it comes to these oils is they are processed at extremely high temperatures that our bodies cannot digest. Margarines are on the list for causing inflammation in the body according to my research. According to my research, egg whites also causes inflammation in the body. But the most important things to remember when it comes to foods that causes inflammation, your processed foods, your junk foods, your fast foods, things like that. Okay? So now let's get into our list of things that assist the body in reducing or preventing inflammation. So we are going to go over foods, spices, and herbs. Okay? So some of the foods that reduces or aids the body in fighting inflammation are your dark leafy greens. Your spinach, your kale, your Swiss chard, your turnips, your collard greens, your watercress, your romaine lettuce. So just making a nice big salad with all of these different vegetables is just a great way to reduce inflammation in the body. Not to mention they are packed with enzymes which will aid you in digesting the rest of your food. If you saw my series on enzymes, you know enzymes are the key to life. But I don't want to get off topic. So continuing on with our list, we have peppers, we have broccoli, we have garlic, we have beets, we have ginger, tomatoes, your nuts, probably not all of them. The ones that according to my research are pistachios, macadamias, and almonds. You have some of your seeds, your chia seeds, your hemp seeds, and your flax seeds. Salmon is also on the list. Berries are very good for reducing inflammation, and they are high in antioxidants, and they also help to fight free radicals. Some of your berries that are good are your goji berries, your blackberries, your raspberries. Any of your berries are going to be good. Green apples are good for reducing inflammation. Butternut squash. And although this is not a food, black seed oil is also good for reducing inflammation. I'm just now realizing that I have that on my list as a food, which is not, it can be taken orally, but not too many people eat black seed oil. So continuing on with our list, we are going to get into the herbs that reduces inflammation. So some of your herbs that reduce inflammation, and keep in mind, some of these herbs are also considered spices too. So I don't want anyone to say, well, that's a spice, not a herb. Some of them are in both categories. But moving right along, some of the herbs that reduces inflammation is your ginger, your cardamom, your ginseng, rosemary, white willow bark, and white willow bark is also very good for reducing pain as well. Frankincense is good for reducing pain. Cat's claw, fennel, hibiscus, meadowsweet, licorice root, golden seal, oregano grape, St. John's wort, feverfew. I hope I'm not going over this list too fast. Allow me to slow down just a little bit. Hawthorn berry and sandraberry, almond fruit, slippery elm bark, marshmallow root, and ashwagandha. So it seems that when I was going over the list of herbs that I went right into when I was going over the list of spices, that I went right into the list of herbs without letting you all know that I had gone on to a new group. And I do apologize for that. And so, in just a few more spices that reduce inflammation, we have turmeric, cinnamon, cloves, thyme, black pepper, and cumin. So I see what I did here. Ginger is one of those foods that is known as a spice and a herb. So when I was explaining that some of the herbs, that some of them are both herbs and spices, I kind of got mixed up on which list I was. So the very long list that I just gave you was actually the list of herbs, and the short list, the spices, once again, are turmeric, cinnamon, cloves, thyme, black pepper, and cumin. Now, one thing that I want to point out about turmeric has a substance in there called curcumin, while black pepper has a substance, and I'm drawing a brain fart here, but you need the black pepper to draw out the substance in the turmeric called curcumin. So if you're using turmeric on your food as a spice, you also want to use black pepper as well so that you can pull that substance out. Now, before we end, I would like to point out that these herbs that I mentioned earlier, a lot of them can be made into herbal teas or herbal infusions. That is also a good way to not only reduce inflammation, but to get a lot of minerals and nutrients in your body. And another thing that I want to point out is that herbs has a broad spectrum of benefits. So it does not only help with one area, but it has multiple benefits. For instance, hibiscus. I mentioned hibiscus as an herb that helps to fight inflammation, but not only does hibiscus fight inflammation, but another benefit of it is that it also helps to detox, cleanse, and rebuild the liver, among many other benefits that it has. So this is your hibiscus flowers here, and it smells also very good, and it tastes good as well. So hopefully you can see that. So hibiscus is a very excellent herb that you can take and make an herbal tea or an herbal infusion. So this here is a tea that I made using hibiscus. I use hibiscus and red raspberries, and there is fresh squeezed key lime juice in here, and it tastes very good. So the raspberry just gives it more antioxidants, just more vitamin C, just more minerals and nutrients in it to aid your body. So that is another herbal teas, herbal infusions are another alternative of a way of getting herbs into your body to help fight inflammation. A lot of times we drink so many sugary sodas, so many sugary fruit juices, and all those not only add inflammation to our bodies, but it causes weight gain, causes insomnia, and just a host of negative side effects to our bodies. So when you drink something, it's important, drink something that's going to benefit your body. Of course, we all know we should be drinking a lot of water, but at least half your body weight of water in ounces. For example, I'm 120 pounds, so I need 60 ounces of water a day. So that's how you figure that out. But instead of drinking, like if I don't want water, instead of drinking soda or a fruit juice that's 10% juice and the rest full of sugar, I will go for a herbal tea or herbal infusion. There are many of them that taste great. Hawthorn berry is another one. Just so many on this list that I named that makes really great teas. So I would encourage you to try some of these herbs. If you have different elements, different illnesses, do some research. See which herbs help to fight against the illness that you have, and do some research on those herbs and see which ones that maybe you can make into a tea, or that you can buy already made. You don't have to make them yourself. You can buy them already made. I would suggest, however, if you're gonna buy tea that's already made, already in the tea bags, get the bleach-free tea bags, okay? Because that's going to be more healthy for you. So I see that I am already over 16 minutes. I do not try to keep my videos short, so I think that this is a good place to end. I would like to let you know, however, that I do have a product that helps fight inflammation and joint pain. I will put a link to it in the description box. I also have another product called Natural Max Energy, which has 2 of the herbs that I mentioned here today that helps fight inflammation. Your hawthorn berry and your sandraberry is in this product. I will also post a link to that one in the description box if you would like more information on it. So that is all for today. I hope that you learned something. If you found this video to be informative, I hope that you would give me a thumbs up and share the video. And if you're watching me for the first time, even if you're not watching me for the first time, if you like the information that I provided, I hope that you will also subscribe to my channel. So until next time, take care, God bless you, and have a great healthy week. Ta-ta!